did to you on your journey while you were traveling after you left Egypt, how undeterred by fear of the Most High Amalek was. He surprised you. He came, um, he ambushed you on the march when you were famished, um, hungry and weary, tired, and cut down all the stragglers in your rear. All right? Sound like the Trail of Tears to me. All right? They don't want to face you head up. They take out the old and the young, and they surprise you. They're very strategic. Um, all right. And it says, therefore, when the Most High your power grants you, He's going to give you safety, protection, salvation from all your enemies around you, surrounding you in the land that the Most High your power is giving you as a uh, hereditary portion. You shall blot out the memory. You shall remove, take away the remembrance, the memory of Amalek. He's not going to be remembered from under heaven, under the sky, Israel. Do not forget. And don't forget it. Amalek is going to be destroyed. So praise the Most High, Ahaya. All right. We are to destroy the seed of Amalek. All right. And so that's all I got on wars and the rules, some of the rules of wars. I could go into the Josephus if you really wanted to get into more understanding of that. But right now, I'm going to go into this Smith's Bible Dictionary. We're going to go and we're going to check out some of the precepts for war in here. I thought it was interesting. Alright. The Most High wars for us, Israel. Vengeance is the Most High's. War. The most important topic in connection with war is the formation of the army which is destined to carry it on. It's going to go to war. In 1 Kings 9:22, at a period Solomon's rule, when the organization of the army was complete, we have apparently a list of the various gradations of rank in the service as follows. 1. Men of war equal privates. 2. Servants, and the lowest rank of officers, lieutenants. 3. Princes, equaling to captains. 4. Captains, perhaps equaling the staff officers. 5. Rulers of his chariots and his horsemen, equaling cavalry officers. Formal proclamations of war were not interchanged between the belligerents before entering the enemy's district. Spies were sent to ascertain the character of the country and the preparations of its inhabitants for resistance. All right. So you would go to Numbers 13 and 17. You would go to Joshua 2 and 1. Judges 7 and 10. 1 Samuel 26 and 4. The combat assumed the form of a number of hand-to-hand contests. Hence the high value attached to fleetness of foot and strength of arm. 2 Samuel 1:23 to 18 and 1 Chronicles 12 and 8. At the same time, various strategic devices were practiced also, and such as the ambuscade, Joshua 8:2 and 12, Judges 20 and 36, and surprise, Judges 7 and 16, or circumvention, 2 Samuel 5 and 23. Another mode of settling the dispute of war was by the selection of champions. The selection of champions. 1 Samuel 17 and 2. So let's check that out. All right. The selection of champions. Let's get that. 1 Samuel. Let me get it. 1 Samuel 17 and 2. 17 verse 2. Saul countered with a build-up of forces at Elah Valley. So the Philistines and Israelis faced each other on opposite hills with the valley between them. All right. Let's jump to verse 12. Verse 12 reads, "And David, the son of aging Jesse, a member of the tribe of Judah, who lived in Bethlehem, Judah, had 7 older brothers." All right. The 3 oldest, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, had already volunteered for Saul's army to fight the Philistines. David was the youngest son and was on Saul's staff on a part-time basis. He went back and forth to Bethlehem to help his father with the sheep 40 days, twice a day, morning and evening. The Philistine giant strutted before the armies of Israel. Let's go to Judges real quick. Let me get that. Get it. Judges 20 and 36. Judges 20 and 36. And so the Lord helped Israel defeat Benjamin. Let me make sure that's right. 20 and 36. Yeah. And the Israeli army killed 25,100 men of Benjamin that day, leaving but a tiny remnant of their forces. All right. Judges 7 and 16. Let's see. Let's get that. 7:16. It says he divided the 300 men into 3 groups and gave each man a trumpet and a clay jar with a torch in it. Then he explained his plan. All right. Okay, I see. So those were different modes of war. I was looking at the wrong ones. So 2 Samuel, let's see. That was my bad. 2 Samuel 2. Looking at the wrong note. 2:14. 2 Samuel 2 and verse 14. Then Abner suggested to Joab, let's watch some sword play between our young men. So they used to have champions back then. All right. So let me go back. Some of that, what I was reading. Um, at the same time, various strategic devices was practiced, such as the ambuscade, right? And that was Joshua 8 and 2 and 12. Judges 20 and 36, surprise attacks. Judges 7 and 16, or circumvention. 2 Samuel 5 and 23, another mode of settling the dispute was by the selection of champions. So I read 1 Samuel 17 and verse 2, or 1 Samuel 17, and then 2 Samuel 2 and 14, who were spurred on to exertion by the offer of high reward. So they're like, we're going to pay you good if you be our champion. All right. All right. So 1 Samuel 17 and 25 and 18 and 25 and 2 Samuel 18 and 11, 1 Chronicles 11 and 6. It says the contest having been decided, the conquerors were recalled from the pursuit, from chasing, but the sound of a trumpet, 2 Samuel 2, by the sound of a trumpet. 2 Samuel 2 and 28, 18 and 16, 20 and 22. The siege of a town or fortress was conducted in the following way. So, the following way, a line of circumvallation was drawn around the place. Ezekiel 4 and 2, Micah 5 and 1, constructed out of the trees found in the neighborhood. Deuteronomy 20 and 20, together with earth and other materials at hand. This line not only cut off the besieged from the surrounding country, but also served as a base of operations for the besiegers. The next step was to throw out from this line one or more mounds or banks in the direction of the city. 2 Samuel 20 and 15, 2 Kings 19 and 32, Isaiah 37 and 33, which would gradually increase in height until they were about half as high as the city wall. On this mound or bank, towers were erected. Were erected. 2 Kings 25 and 1, Jeremiah 52 and 4, Ezekiel 4 and 2, Ezekiel 17 and 17, Ezekiel 21 and 22, Ezekiel 26 and 8, where the slingers and archers might attack with effect. Catapults were prepared for hurling large darts and stones, and the crow, a long spar with iron claws at one end and ropes at the other to pull down stones or men from the top of the wall. Battering rams, Ezekiel 4 and 2, Ezekiel 21 and 22, were brought up to the walls by means of the bank, and scaling ladders might also be placed on it. The treatment of the conquered was extremely severe. Again, the treatment of the defeated was extremely severe in ancient times. The bodies of the soldiers killed in action were plundered, stolen, robbed. You can go to 1 Samuel 31 and 8, 2 Maccabees 8 and 27. And the survivors were either killed in some savage manner, savage, nasty way, abominable way. Judges 9, 4 and 5, 2 Samuel 12, 31, 2 Chronicles 25 and 12. People were mutilated in war. Judges 1 and 6, First Samuel 11:2, or carried into slavery or captivity, Numbers 31:26. So all of that um, concludes what goes on, in a war. I was gonna go to a few of them, but I just wanted to just read that right out, and hope that it gave you some understanding of how serious war is, and that it's a time for everything, and war is on its way, famine is on its way, famine of no food and famine of the word, and the love of many will wax cold. So it's time for the children of Israel to come together, and everyone individually to seek the Most High, pray for one another, pray for the 12 tribes of Israel, and ask for favor, mercy, repent, because the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. Enjoy your Sabbath, uh, and understand that it will be war. If Paul and all the followers, the disciples of Christ, were slew and hung on trees and all of that, and the prophets were beheaded and stuff, what makes it think, yeah, you won't go through the fire, okay? We're going to go through the fire, but we're going to come out pure as gold. So there's impurities that need to be removed from us. So like a sword in the fire to purge the dross, we must go in the fire. So again, acceptable men and women will go through the furnace of affliction, will come out pure as gold. Don't bow to Babylon like Mordecai. Stand strong. And shalom. Blessings.